Hi everyone, it's Lee Davenport, and we are here for another episode of Under the Sales Scope, which is where I give an unbiased, unpaid review of technology to help you in your business today. Let's take a look at the new app, AgentEdge. It's on my screen right now at the top. And by the way, today I'm going to do screen sharing from my iPhone. So that's why it's not full screen. It's just my iPhone here, gang. AgentEdge is an app that's also available on Android. So that's great. So we're starting off in the client dashboard. Now keep in mind, this is through Veterans United, which means these are clients that you are working with and they are getting a loan through Veterans United. Okay. Now I have a demo account. These are not real people, just for the sake of privacy and security. So notice everywhere we see test, girl wonder. These are all different client names, or we'll pretend they're different client names. Let me click on some of these just so you can see what they do. So I'll actually start with the enrollment test where it says pre-approval. Notice here at the very top, you've got pre-approval and you've got that icon, which indicates it's a notification. So what this app does differently than probably what you're used to is the moment a status changes at the loan officer's site. So whether that is they get pre-approval, clear to close, whatever it may be, your app is going to get a real-time alert. So you'll get a notification. If you've got a smartphone and you get notifications from your other apps, you understand exactly what this is. Because if you think about the fact that typically for us to find out about a pre-approval, or if we're at clear to close, or if the appraisal's back, we've got to call someone, text them, email them, maybe even send a smoke signal, depending on how well they respond, right? This eliminates a lot of that. Not saying, again, you're not going to ever pick up the phone, not saying that, but this can streamline and automate some of the processes that you need answers to. And below pre-approval, you have the contact information of your client, which the loan officer team will also have. And then below that, you can actually see who's a part of the loan team on this product. And that becomes very powerful. I like this feature a lot because the more business you do, especially with veterans, and if you're going to work with Veterans United, you may work with different people. And it can become very stressful to try to keep up with who's working what file, who's working with what client. Now it's simplified in this one app. Below the loan team, you can actually see the loan type, loan amount, and again, the status that your client is in. Below there, you can see loan documents. Notice that I've already generated a pre-approval letter today, but let's generate another one. This is a big deal right here. I actually like this feature a lot as well. So far, so good. Many of these features I like. Let's click on it though. And I know we've all had those days where you're with a client. Maybe it's a holiday. Maybe it's a weekend. Maybe it's just a crazy time. We know showing properties at 9 p.m. at night happens, right? The problem, though, is that you may not be able to get an updated pre-approval right at that moment. Now, we have a lot of preferred lenders who are great at responding, but this may be the moment they're just not available. So you may not hear back from them for an hour or a couple of hours. And in today's current market, where we're in an inventory shortage for much of the nation, every moment really does count. So instead of waiting, you can generate your client's pre-approval letter for each property that they're visiting. Now, remember, the client has already been pre-approved by Veterans United. So this is not a situation where you're just trying to figure out if they're even ready to buy. You already know they are, but you have different properties. So here you can see, I'll just type in test for now, just so you can see what it will do. I'll click on generate letter. And within just a few moments, the pre-approval letter is ready. So I'm going to click view pre-approval letter, and notice that the information I entered for the property address, you could have also edited the loan amount, is now here at the top. Options to print, to email, and so forth. So this becomes a very handy tool that I like a lot. So far so good, gang. You guys notice I'm giving a lot of pros. We haven't yet hit something that I don't like. So let's go back though and take a look. So we're still in the My Clients tab. Notice next to that they have notifications. This notification section, again, will alert you to when there's a status change from your loan officer or the loan officer's team. I love that. Can you imagine that instead of trying to track people down to find out is the appraisal back, you get an instant notification on your cell phone? Yay. Next, my team. You saw in each individual client, you're able to see who's the team, but you can also see all of your preferred partners at Veterans United in this one My Team section. So that's pretty convenient as well. Next, calculator. I'm going to tell you, this is probably my favorite feature on this app. Here's why. If you say to me, hey, Lee, I've never really worked with veterans, I don't really think I'm going to, I'm going to say to you, I think you need to still download the AgentEdge app just to have this calculator. Why? Because you may come across someone that's a veteran or, a spouse, whatever it may be. And this calculator does more than what most calculators do for veterans. Let's take a look. Notice at the top section, they have VA funding fee. Wow. Also, notice you can do loan types. So it could be VA purchase loan, VA interest rate reduction, VA cash out refinance. You can do this for regular military, reserves, National Guard, surviving spouse. You can, of course, as any calculator, modify the purchase price of the home. And notice here, not many calculators, if any, will allow you to estimate the down payment as zero, which this app does do. So I'm going to encourage you to download the app. The last tab they have is education, and this is my second reason why you should download this app. I get it. If you've never really worked with veterans, you may feel like, hey, well, why do I need this? But I'm going to tell you to have this and to have this on the fly. So if you're out with someone and you do come across someone who's a veteran, you can quickly access articles, marketing materials, videos that will help you understand the process, but will also give your client peace of mind and really paint you like a resource leader. And that's what you want to be. So why not have this app? And I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but this app is free, gang. I love that. We love free things. So, of course, it may take up some memory on your phone, but I think just for the calculator and the education, whether you've worked with veterans or not, this is worth having on your phone. But beyond that, if you do get veteran clients and now you're like, hey, I don't know what to do, or you're a regular with Veterans United, again, this becomes your quick access way where you don't have to wait for email or text, or you don't have to hunt some. I've talked to you a lot about what I love. And as you know, it wouldn't be an unbiased review if I didn't share with you some of the things I have at least on my wish list. The number one thing I have on my wish list is that they have this client section. And I really do think that for the solopreneur, the person that is not on a team, doesn't have an assistant, I think that if there's a way that either this data can be exported and connect with some of the automation tools like Zapier or like IFTTT, meaning now you don't have to do so much data entry between this and whatever your normal database system is or your CRM is. it becomes a lot more user friendly because I get it. So many of us are on overload. If other pieces of the puzzle have apps that they want you to log into, for instance, maybe your closing attorney has an app. Many of the closing attorneys here in Georgia do, which means you've now got to track your client in your CRM, then in your closing attorney's app, then also now in your lender's app. So that becomes a little cumbersome. So that's just my wish list. It's not a huge problem, obviously, because for what this is supposed to do, it does it. The next thing that I would have on my wish list is that, as we saw, go back to the education section, these videos and articles can actually be sent to your clients, which is awesome. So here they have closing disclosure explained. So if I click on that, notice there's a video, there's an article, and then here at the top, there's the arrow and share button. So if I click that, I can now share this by text and by email. And that's fine and dandy, but what I would really love to see, and I think it brings us so much bang for our buck, and it helps us generate more leads, is that if we can co-market and co-brand these items, when our clients send this out, because they may send it to family members to also review so that they can help them with the process. Well, guess what? Now, when they see the article, when they see the video, our information is still there. So that means the more it's shared, the more likely we might generate new business. I don't think that can ever be eliminated. Now, when I did pose that question, you know, some concerns about RESPA and the CFPB came up. So I got it. Obviously, we don't want to break laws to grow our business. But I do feel like as a wish list item, when there's more clarity and direction from the CFPB, then we should be able to co-brand within the guidelines that are specified. Because I think, again, opportunities to share equals opportunities for new business. That's all I'll say about that. And then one other thing that I think would be important with this app, it's a money app. So I'm coming back to the client section. And even though I have demo information in here and it's not really real people, when I click on someone and it's showing like the clear to close information, it's showing loan amount and other things that really, are private and can be. We don't want this accessible to anyone. And here's the thing. Notice I'm going to push my home button. And when I do, it takes me, back to my home screen. But then when I go back to the app, it did not prompt me to log back in. Because this is basically a financial app, I would want it to log us in every single time. It should do just like my financial apps do. So when I come here, I have Money Dance. When I come here, notice what it just did. Now, again, I'm on the iPhone, so it allows me to use the touch technology. But if I cancel that, it needs my passcode. And every time I am on the home screen or my phone times out, logs out, it requires me, in order to get back in this app, to put in my passcode again. So I agree. I believe that this app, AgentEdge, should also have that same level of security. That's just on my wish list, but all in all, like I've already said, I do recommend that you download this app, you use the resources, and even if you're not working currently or in the past with veterans, I think this app is something that will add value that you should have in case you ever do.